Hello and welcome to virtual reality session number 3. Yeah. Hello, welcome back. Today we're gonna do some little bit more of animation. We're gonna continue where we last finished our process in the last live streams and do some little bit more frame by frame animation and adding some details. Today, again, I'm joined by Niels, who can read out some questions if there are right to me. You can say hi right now. Alright, so everything's working. I'm just gonna bring the chat up to me as well, so I can see a little bit of that as well. If there are any questions, like always, feel free to ask. That's why we're here. To answer questions and to show you a little bit of what we are passionate about, virtual reality, and especially creating some animation, art, content in virtual reality. That's right. All right, I have my chat open right now. Okay, that's just gonna figure out a good position. Alright, I'm gonna bring up Quill. I hope it's working. Let's see. And now we should be inside of Quill. Right where we kind of stopped in the last session. That's where we are right now. So, we have this little animation right here. I'm just gonna play it back so that you can see where he swings and lands right on this one stone. And what I want to do today is just do a little bit of adjustments. So first of all, I want to show you how I can just move back this stone, because like you can see in the orange, last time I thought it would be a great idea for him to jump from this rock to that, but in the process I noticed that this wouldn't be enough of a challenge, so he's actually jumping one further. And because it would look kind of stupid or unnecessary if he jumps over this one, it's less of a challenge, I would just say. And that's why I would remove or at least push that a little bit back so that there is a greater threat to him. Just gonna erase this animation sketch, and what I'm gonna do is just search for this line and delete it as well. We don't need that. Alright. So, to get started, I'm just gonna move this back, and afterwards I think we're gonna go and animate like this liana. So this has to move like it's actually more organic, and it's not like steel or anything like that, because at the moment it's kind of moving like it's very stiff. Not a normal behavior, and we try to fix that. Let's see how challenging this will be, especially because it's not only one stroke, it consists of many different, or not many, but at least 3 layers of strokes. And this could be a little bit of a challenge to animate that. But we'll see. First off, let's dive right in and just push back this rock. That's great. I just can grab the layer, and I have it right here. I'm just gonna move my gimbal so that I can move it straight back. And I think just like that, maybe even a bit further. Yep. Just like this. I think it's nice that it's still there, but it's good that it's not that prominent. It doesn't look like it would be an easy landing. It would be kind of dangerous if he jumps on there, because it's not that much space for him. And now I have to look is where the shadow is. Which layer? All right, it's here as well, because I'm gonna move that way in, because it shouldn't be that much shadow now, because it's so small. Okay, first change made quite quickly, and now we're gonna focus on the animation of the liana. Okay, for that, I'm just gonna go in and search for it. Where is it? That's where, of course, a good structure comes in handy. And like you can see, I didn't name it correctly. So I'm just gonna rename it. I already have it in a group, and that's great. That means every change I'm gonna make to the layer of the liana will actually will not lose the initial animation we gave it. So it's still gonna follow it even after deformation. So I think for the initial contact I won't change anything, but for this frame is where we're gonna start. And just by pressing, like, I can't really show it, but when you press up on this trigger, you'll actually create like keyframes, like you can see right here. So I created a new frame. Now you can see it disappeared. I don't want that. I have to push the trigger down as well. That duplicates the frame, so it kind of replicates the frame before and just duplicates it to the next frame. That's what's gonna happen, and that's what we're gonna use in the most of the times. So let's check this out. All right, so I have like this whole layer right here, and I want to deform it. The way I think I would do this is with the grab tool, and I think I have to select everything. Oh, that's not good. I still have select in all visible unlocked layers, so I just want to select in the liana layer. So I'm grabbing this right here. And now what would happen? Right, Siri? What would happen if you jump on that? I think everything would try to stay at the same place. It's like, how is it called? It's Newton laws of physics, right, Niels? Would you say that? What? No, is it Newton? Oh, all right, let's not dive deeper into physics, but at least it's that, of course, like, objects that are moving want to move on, like, just phrase it like that, and like objects that stand still want to stay still. So it's kind of like that, to phrase it very simple. So because here we have like the initial force right here, this thing will move, this middle part, but at the bottom it won't. And that's why I'm just gonna try and bend it like this. So you can see now it is, at least the tip is trying to stay at the same place. It's actually not the same place, but kind of. So I wanted to stay kind of at the same place as it initially was. So I'm just gonna move it like this. And now the nice thing is that I can just go in and just duplicate the frame again. So we go from this to this. Okay, I animate on 2, so it won't change for the next frame. And just to save some space, I won't actually create another keyframe. Like you can see right here, every time you have like, do you see this? I hope you can see this. You have this big blue box, I call it now. The whole layer is visible. That means there is a frame where you actually painted something. And the small blue line left and right to it, the right side is now white. But that just means that the frame before, it's kind of holding that frame. So like you can see, if I move through the frames, it doesn't change. So I can just, if I want to have the same thing for 2 frames, I could duplicate a frame to have 2 identical duplicates. But what I am gonna do is just have it on hold. It's easier on the memory. And then I'm just gonna duplicate it as soon as I wanna change it. And that's what I'm gonna do right here. So 2 frames after that, I'm just gonna curl this even more. So now we have a little bit of an animation right here. Maybe I'll have to start a little bit more on top, because actually it would start, I think, right where he's holding actually. So just gonna fix that. Yeah, and that's what I'm just gonna do, and just think about like where it would actually, what it would actually do. So I think I'm just gonna, I just have to look that it doesn't get too blocky at the edges. That's kind of a challenge always. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do for now. So you can see already, I think that it's working quite well. So you have like more, you see a little bit more of the impact actually. So that's what's really good. Another thing we're gonna fix is just the basic hand position, that it's a little bit different, and maybe that he kind of swings the liana more to the right side, because now it's just going through his body. And I think that's one thing we could change as well. I mean, we already have it now going beside, on the right side of his body down, and the legs. It's already passing there. But the upper body still goes through, and I think we'll change that as well. All right. Which do you mean? This one right here. That was for animation. Because like I think I had it in the last one, but I'm just gonna show you. It's quite quick. So I have like George, the character. He's in a folder. All right. So he's in folders, and I can actually go in and select that. You can here auto select transform object. So you actually, when you have this to group, you can go in, grab, for example, the arm and move it automatically when it's in a group. That is important. But the thing is, because I'm grabbing the actual geometry, and Quill is looking for the next, I would say like the next folder it's nested into, I think. So when I'm grabbing, like for example, I'm grabbing here like the like I call it a LU arm. When I'm grabbing that, I'm actually moving the folder it is nested in. So U arm L, the folder, I'm moving that, and not the geometry itself. So that is the thing, what's happening. And when I look into like the thing is now, when you think about how can you then just grab the whole character, because the whole character is in this folder, George Rig 1. It's the whole character, but the problem is, if I want to select the character, I always have to grab him somewhere, but that won't select the big group with everything inside. But just the one separate folder where his arm is in, for example. And that's why I put just here, it's called G control for George control. I just put it in there, just one little piece of geometry, and put it up there because now I can just grab him like this, the whole character. That's just what it's for, but it's because it's a little bit complicated otherwise to select him. Exactly, yeah, that's just gonna be deleted in the end. I can actually, you could actually just hide it right now. It's not necessary to have it. I would still keep it in there just in case I want to change something. Yeah, but I think it's right like it is right now, so I'm just gonna move everything just a bit for each frame. I think it won't have to change like every time because it's already moving, but I think here right now we'll have to do some changes. I think the whole thing will have to move just a bit to the side so that it is clear that he's pushing it to the side. And this of course will drag this whole thing, and now I think now comes the interesting part because we now have to bring it back in. That's the one thing, but also this will now it's exactly the other way around. The rest it will kind of like be like a whip motion right here for the bottom part. So I have to animate this. Just bring it back. And everything already went down. The thing now is that, like you can see, I already I moved so much of the geometry, and now I'm getting like these weird shapes everywhere. I don't know exactly, but I think, at least I hope so. Can we somehow can we somehow duplicate it from back there? I actually don't know. I really don't know. But I wanted at least a little bit to go back, and it's... Or at least I want to try if it is possible. There's a copy selection to current frame. So maybe that's it. So I'm just gonna go in. And for this one, I'm just gonna make a new frame. This should now be empty. And if I'm just gonna copy selection to current frame. Alright, that didn't work. Because maybe I'm just gonna try if it is somehow possible. I'm just gonna pick up select in all frames and just show all frames, I guess. Oh no, that's not gonna work like this. I'm just gonna... Okay. So now I still haven't selected. Maybe... Yeah, that worked. Okay. So I don't know if this is like the smoothest way to do it. But yeah, you can actually... I don't know if it is necessary, but I just had... I just had, how this, Jeff, I just have to recap what I actually did right there. All right. What I did right here is go back to the starting frame, so where it is all like perfect geometry. I selected it with a selection tool. Then I moved back to the frame where I wanted to copy the exact same thing, and then I could choose right here, copy selection to current frame. However, it didn't work first try. I think maybe because I didn't show all onion skin. So there's an option where you can show like all iterations, and it worked like this, but I don't know if it's necessary. But just in case you try this and it doesn't work, just try putting on and off the onion skin for every layer. This could help. So now I delete the frame before, and now I'm back. All right, because now I kind of start with a little bit more of a cleaner shape. And I think that is a good idea right now, because we're gonna move it. We're still gonna deform it a lot, so it's quite good to have it a little bit cleaner. Yeah, and it can be about totally different things. So about this project, like some general virtual reality questions, and maybe how we got into it and the whole thing. Yeah, just ask what you want to know. We're here to talk and to answer these questions. Oh no. I think I'll already have to push this one up. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit difficult, I think, when it's gonna push it directly. It's just gonna push it in another direction. I think that's not the easiest thing to animate. But I think I'll have to try and just watch afterwards if it works or not. I think it doesn't make What? Oh great, so you can't hear him. Alright. Perfect. Alright, let me check that. I think I can fix it somehow. But good to know, I mean, we're just, how many minutes in? I mean, it's just the third stream, so, I mean, you could think that we... but... The great thing is they still don't hear you, so, they didn't even notice, maybe? Are you sure? Alright, I think I might have fixed it, so...
Okay, let's... Yeah, I can hear myself.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Like I said, how many minutes are we in? Like 30?
Right now we are about... wait. Yeah, 25 minutes in.
Great. Alright, then you can introduce yourself again and say that you're here, Niels. But you already wrote it in the chat, so maybe someone noticed, so...
Yeah, hello guys. I was also here. But
yeah,
you couldn't hear me. Now you can.
Just professional as always. Okay, just have a look. I think the ending is way too fast. I can already see that, but yeah, but I like the general movement. I like that. I'm just gonna save. The ending is too fast, but that's an easy fix. All because it's just in keyframes, like I told you. So it's not... Just delete these keyframes. And just go in and... Oh. Just gonna turn off the translate part of it, so I can move the whole thing more freely. And don't forget to turn on auto key if you're doing something like that, because that can mess up your whole animation. I just had that recently. And
also, don't forget to save.
Yeah,
Very
I just
important.
did that. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Now it's getting faster right here. Just gonna do this frame by frame, just using my eye and just looking at the spaces right here and just look that are not getting too big. I think that looks alright. Yeah, I think that's good. The only thing that's now will have to be changed is the speed at which... Just gonna... How do I... Sometimes I forget how I actually delete a frame. It's kind of odd. Which combination is it? I can also look at this handy wall right here. So there's actually some things and I just forget how to do that. Delete frame, there it is. When Alt trigger pressed, alright. So I should just go in and... Wait, what? Delete frame. Alright, I just read what I have to do, but it doesn't work. Ah, now I didn't have it selected, alright. Things that always happen. So, I think for now, it is just about figuring out how much this thing would actually still like stretch out right now. So don't lose this one completely, but it's not gonna go as far as on the other side, of course. Maybe just the bit at the end will move a little bit more. Just like this. Just gonna put it right back in the middle. So, let's take a look. I think that's nice. It's working. I think, I mean, we're not sticking to this scene like that long, so we won't see it standing there this long. So I'm totally fine with it being not totally straight. I think that's still a good look that we have right here. And it now seems a little bit more like he's actually letting it go on the other side. I really like that. So we're gonna go in and adjust a little bit of the hand position or the arm position to this movement now. Okay. I think I accidentally moved something right here. So maybe I'm just gonna go in without auto keyframe and just go in some in-between frame. That's what good if you have this in-betweens. I can just now grab it and just move it a bit. Maybe I'm not gonna do it right here where it's perfectly straight, just like this, and right, at least a little bit of fix. And now actually go in and adjust the animation I already did last stream. So it's not gonna be a major change, but for here I'm just gonna move it perfectly where it should be, like the hands. A thing I could consider right now is if I want to actually having grab the whole thing, but that means just another layer of animation. I think that won't be like really noticeable. So maybe that is not that wouldn't be like the best idea to focus on this point of the fingers, like actually wrapping around the thing, because I think it will be barely noticeable, but it will add just more data to the whole thing. It wouldn't be that much, but I think maybe it's something that we maybe for some animations we should actually finish is first, like in a way that the whole story will work, and later on, when we know that it will be good or it will work great because the optimization process works well, then I think would be the point where we could decide and say that we're gonna add some additional animation. I think that would be a good point to decide that. So not starting with a big animation that's or with small details that won't do that much to the overall story, but will just look a little bit nicer. Maybe that's what we're gonna do at a little bit of a later point. So I'm just gonna hide some layers because I accidentally moved another thing. So right now he's actually like moving the whole thing sideways. So that's why I'm gonna mimic this right here. And it just has to be like this in this whole process. So it has to, his arms have to move a little bit. But I think now, I think that's already quite good. If I hit play, I think you'll get a little bit more of the feeling how he's actually grabbing the whole thing. So, and that he's letting it go to the right side. Yeah. All right. And now the only thing I wanted to add to this, the whole thing, is just a little, like, he has to move a little bit more when he lands right here. So I'm just gonna let him bend a little bit more. have his arms go down a little bit.
Alright.
Just like this. So it's more of an... I want to have him react a little bit more to the impact, because right now he's just standing right there. Oh no. It already happened. Oh no. It happened what I talked about earlier.
What happened?
I forgot to turn on auto key, so that might have changed some animation. I have to check that before I save. It's always the same with this. There's something I forget, like, but that's also a thing that you can forget in After Effects and other programs. It's not that uncommon, at least for me, that stuff like this can happen, especially if you're like totally focused on the animation. In After Effects, when I think about it, the most annoying thing I always forget is turning on the auto keyframe when I'm animating masks, for example. That is the thing where I animate a whole mask around a person, for example, and then after being finished, I realized that I didn't hit the right button to actually save the whole thing. It's always super cool if you find out later. And you feel very stupid, I think, when something like this happens. If something like this happens to you, you're not alone. That's what I want to say with that. So, I think it's a very common thing, sadly. Alright. So, after he went down a little bit, just gonna have like the opposite reaction of him just standing up again. I think that's a great way to end the whole part. So it's actually moving up his arms, putting them right back in, and kind of starts standing again. So I think now we have like a more appropriate reaction to the landing. So it's not just him stopping right there. I think it feels way more natural like this. So that's what I wanted to add. Like I said, the animation won't last, like it won't stand at this point. We're gonna fade or oh, actually the camera I think just went out. I have to check right here. So
no. It looks like it's still on, but I'm a little bit delayed.
I know, I think it just alright, what happened right here? When standby or something?
It went dark.
Alright. I'm gonna take what I'm just gonna do. I'm just gonna take a sip of water and just fix the whole thing, and I'm gonna be back in, yeah, just a minute. See you. All right, and I'm back right here. You can see me now. Yeah. So actually, like, I accidentally forgot to plug the camera into the power outlet. So that was why we lost that camera. But we still got this one left, and because I kind of was at the point where I wanted to be for the animation, but we still got a little bit of time. I was thinking about what I could show you right now. I'm just gonna take a look. All right. I think what I could do right now is I think I would just jump into another scene I already did. I did some animation for it and just do a little bit of a breakdown on what happened in that, or what happens in that scene, what was difficult to accomplish, and how I animated everything. Just to show you some problems you might run into using Quill that you have to think about when animating. So I think that's the main thing that I can show you to you right now with the time that is left. I think we're just gonna go another 15 to 20 minutes and jump into another scene. Or what do you think, Niels? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. What do you think about that? We just jump into another scene, because I think I'm kind of happy with the results of the other one. I don't think that we can do some like major changes, and just gonna go into the garage scene and.
Ooh, the garage. Sounds good. How do you pronounce it? Is it garage? Garage? I don't know.
I would say garage, but I have no clue, like, for real. All right. Then I'll just I'm just gonna jump back into VR, just open the project up, and then we'll just have a quick look, and I think that'll be it for today. But it's a quite interesting scene with a lot of detail, so I think it would be interesting. So, yep, see you when I'm back in VR in the garage, whatever.
Garage.
See you in a second.
So the Americans say garage. Yeah, garage. Okay. weird word.
All right. And we should be back in Quill, and you should see me. The thing now is that the camera is... how do I phrase it? The battery just totally ran out, so now it's kind of a fight. The camera shut down once or twice because battery was exhausted, but it's kind of... I don't know if it's enough power that is supplied through the cable I connected, so we'll have to see that. But yeah, I think, Niels, it's the first time for you seeing the garage scene animation as well,
Yes,
right?
that's true.
Or the garage, sorry. What was it now?
Garage.
Is it now... it's... damn!
That's how... Yeah, that's how the Americans
Saying
call
it wrong since 2014, I guess. Alright.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen early versions of the inside of the garage.
yeah, but I
That was
think
fun.
nothing that has to do with animation.
No, not yet. Not at all.
Okay.
I'm very interested in seeing how it turns out.
So, we're in the garage. I just have to say it a little bit so that I get used to saying it right.
If you're wondering why I'm taking breaks when I'm talking, I can hear myself and it's a little bit distracting.
So you have the stream audio on as well, or is it...
No, it's immediately.
Oh, damn,
I
so we
think-
have an echo thing right now the whole time.
Yeah, but you can't hear it in the stream. So it's okay.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, you can't hear it in the stream.
Right, I have to check that, but it's... Wait a second.
So many Amazon boxes.
Yeah. Got a lot of them. But he has to build a rocket, so...
Yeah. But I guess it would be quite expensive if you would order it all from
So-
Amazon.
And now it should be gone, right? You don't hear yourself anymore?
Yes, yes. Very
All right.
good. Thank you.
So you can see this is the inside of his garage, and I think it looks quite nice. We got a little bit of detail left and right.
I love that rocket sketch.
What?
I love
that one right here. Yeah, it's I mean, it's super important that you sketch your work, that what's gonna do there.
Yeah.
And yeah, here you can see as well, like I still have this pointer up here. Have him. So let's just see. So the scene starts, and you'll have him just testing out a little rocket that flies over there, and then this little bumblebee goes in, distracts him while welding. He wants to punch it, and then just falls over on the ground. That's what's happening in this scene. He gets distracted by this bumblebee right here. Our little friend, he's called Fred.
Yeah, what a great name for a bumblebee.
And yeah, so it's this whole animation. It's like what I have to do right here still is, of course, like fix the eye positioning and stuff like that. That has to be animated this time, so it seems a little bit more like it's actually following the bumblebee around. Of course, the welding will have some effects. Maybe he should put on his goggles, but maybe he doesn't use them while welding.
That would be a good idea if you would have either a shield for his face or the goggles would be used. Yeah. But I just saw the animation. I have to watch it in the stream, and it's really good. I like how he's tumbling down from his stairs.
Yeah, I think it's especially how he falls from the leather. I'm happy with how that turned out, because I think I imagined that being the hardest animation I have to do, and it needs some tweaking here and there, but it's still I think it works already, and that's the main point. So we could go with that. And what really sells it is the impact. I think again, what I added and had some. I showed it to someone, and he said it should have a little bit more impact when he actually lands on the ground, and that's what I kind of try to imitate by him, just flopping up a little bit, so he's not like sticky to the ground. He's at the end. He's just bouncing back up just a bit. And what was really challenging for this animation, I mean, it's not finished yet. I mean, you can see right here that the bumblebee, especially at the point where he's tries to punch it, still stays in frame. But I can show you some of the elements that I used. So let's start with the bumblebee. So with Fred. You can see right here, it's a layer. So it's a layer, and inside, not a layer, it's a folder. And inside that folder, we'll have a frame-by-frame animation of his wings. So with the wings flopping up and down, I just did some movement, and then I just added some scratches in real time. I just painted it. The thing is now that you would usually think, alright, him flying around, that should be easy, right? Because you just have to pick him and just say, like with usual keyframes you would do, put one right here, then maybe right here, and then just curve it. So you curve the keyframes, and that would be the animation. But as you can see, I actually did it frame by frame. First of all, he's actually moving on ones. So he's actually moving, he's animated kind of, I would just call it faster or with more frames than George. George is currently animated on twos, so every second frame he gets a new pose. With Fred, he's actually animated on ones, just because he has like a he needs more fluent movement. He needs to be quick. It's a Bumblebee. He's quicker than George, and that's it's not only looking better, but it's also it's kind of demonstrating like the different speeds of the characters, because of course the like flies reaction times and stuff when you want to slap them, they were quite fast, and they could be mimicked with that, and that's also why he can't hit him right here, because he'll just fly over him. And like I said, it's frame by frame animation. So what I did right here is I'm just gonna show it, and I'm just gonna animate him a little bit more. So I'm just gonna go to none and just gonna animate it right here. So I just went in, just grabbed him, go frame by frame, and just moved him. So I forgot to press auto keyframe, but that's alright this time, because I'm actually going to change the animation so it's kind of starting to burst up right here. So actually went in and just did like this time like real frame to frame animations for him. He just flies like this, and it's always about just I just try to keep the distance with the bounding boxes. That helps a lot. So you can see right here it's kind of similar distances, and I just try to keep that overall speed. And if I'm going to have him fly in a curve, I might put the whole thing a little bit closer together. And that's how the animation process works for Fred. So it's basically really it's really a frame by frame animation in this case. And like I said, like what you would normally think, I'm just gonna save it. What you would normally think is that you could just go in, if you use with After Effects, Blender, or anything like that. You could think that you just go in, and I'm just gonna make a block right here. And if you want it to be, and it's the same thing for the rocket as well, so I think it's quite interesting to see. I just want it to move so it's shooting like this, up and down. So it's kind of like the normal parable, how would you call it? The normal movement that you expect if you throw something. You could think that you can just go in and make a keyframe right here, just put it to linear or even ease in, then just go some frames forward. So I have it right here, so I have to put it right here. Alright, so just go a few frames forward, just put it in the middle, put it up here, rotate it, go to the end, and then move it down like this maybe, and just like that. So the problem now is that it's not, like you can see, okay, it's ease in, that's not right, so it has to be like more like this. So now not like this, maybe like this. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the speed right, but that's not the point I wanted to make. It's more about the actual movement that you see. Like, you want it to be more like, I have a sketch right here, so you would want the movement to be like this. Maybe I'm just gonna create a new frame so see it better. So you want it to be curved like this, but what you see is that it actually just follows a straight line, and there's nothing you can do about that. You could add keyframes in between, but to get a smooth rotation like that would be very hard. So what I tried to do, I tried different things. For example, like just rotating around, like not this axis, but just rotating like this. And this could give you a very nice rotating movement. So this would be one thing that you could do. So maybe you just nest it in a folder and then animate it with a folder. That could be one thing you could try. But what I did in the end, I'm just gonna delete the two things right now. I don't need them anymore. Especially you can see like the sketches for Fred, and here for the rocket. And the rocket was also a thing that was in the end. I tried a lot with circle techniques and stuff like this to have it in a nice animation, but in the end, I just decided to do it so frame by frame by hand. I had total control, and it turned out to be better than trying to have it perfectly smooth. Especially I like the landing that I was able to come up with, so with the bouncing in the end. So this whole thing is actually frame by frame animated, and then afterwards I just created with just a little bit of paint layers where it just animated in real time. So it did some brush strokes. I did like the exhaust of the engine right here, and just added a little bit of a line so that you can follow the movement a little bit better. But that was also hand animated, as well as like this circular smoke on the table. So this time it was a lot of hand animation involved, but I think it turned out quite well. And as you can see, I didn't completely follow my initial ideas for Fred to fly. I have it a little more closer to his face, and yeah, but that's the main animation. Later on, this will open and show the final result. Yeah. I think you didn't see me the last couple of seconds, but yeah. I think that's kind of the main thing I wanted to show. All right. Yeah. So with that, I think we have again like a little bit of a problem.
We have a problem?
Yeah, same thing. I think the
Yeah, your camera turned off again.
Yeah, so it's actually not charging fast enough. That's good to know. All right. But that's the main thing I wanted to show, and I don't think it would be necessary to see me at this point, because it's just about the techniques used in this case. And the challenging part right here will be to decide, for once, when is he gonna drop this one? So, because this has to be somehow connected to the gas down here, so I have to draw a line for each frame, and that will be challenging. I don't think that's something for a stream, because it's I think it would be just me painting the line for the whole day. But yeah, maybe next stream we'll get a little bit deeper into actually like a little bit of more theoretic knowledge, I would say, because like I already told you, I already wrote a bachelor thesis on the project, so actually did a little bit of scientific research regarding virtual animation, and especially on things like virtual reality sickness. And maybe I'm just gonna go through, show some examples, and maybe talk a little bit about that in the next live stream. We'll see if that's gonna happen. But that could be one plan, and if not, I'm just gonna tackle another scene. and do a little bit of a breakdown maybe of the finished scene that you can see right here. So maybe I'll just finish that as well and show a little bit of the process, how I did the whole thing. But yeah, we'll see that next week. Yeah, I think I will just jump out of Quill right now. I have just to look if I have to change something right here. No, that's all right. All right, I'm just gonna save. I must say I'm quite happy how it turned out right here. And I'm just gonna talk about it in a second. Just gonna be back in just a second. All right, and I'm back. Yeah, and I think I'm quite happy with what we achieved today. I mean, we finished up the animation I started last stream, and did some more detail, and I think necessary detail that will help the whole thing a lot, especially with the more dynamic movement of the Lyanna. And yeah, and at the end I showed you a little bit of a breakdown on how a little bit larger scene could look like, or with a little bit more detail, or different animation with 2 characters. Yeah, and I'm quite confident at this point that at least like the animation speed, I'm totally I'm surprised by that actually. I didn't think the animation process would go that fast. That's really something I'm super happy about, because you can achieve something in 2 hours. You can actually just dive in 2 hours, do animation, and the great thing with everything being like in folders still, you could later on change some details very easily. Of course, that's something similar to 3D. Like normal 3D animation, but the main point for me at this point is I'm so much faster in virtual reality with animation than I am in 3D, and I think it's just a little bit more of the understanding of like the 3D space, because you actually see the whole thing in 3D space and you don't have to guess or look around with the 3D viewport in the 3D program. You can just turn your head a little bit and see exactly what it would look like, and I think that is one reason why it is so fast and intuitive. And also with just grabbing everything and moving it around, I really like this way of working, and it works great for me, and I hope you like the animations that turned out in the end. Yeah, but I'm super happy with it at all. Yeah. So I think that we're it for today, Niels.
I gotta say I'm really You really surprised me with the second animation inside the garage. It really blew me away. I really liked it. And
That's great to hear.
yeah, I'm also looking forward to showing you guys the scene I've been working on Monday. Then when I'll be streaming in German though.
Oh yeah. So it's
yeah, next week is going to be packed, guys. Me streaming on Monday and Nino streaming again on Saturday, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it will be Saturday again. Do you have like a time already, or is that
no, not yet.
all right.
I'm still.
But I'm gonna like later on after the like always this live stream is gonna be available to rewatch or to look at again on my YouTube channel. Today I actually published my first normal video. I would say. It's about my Airlink wireless setup with the Oculus Quest that I use in my streams as well, where I just show how everything works and what parts I put together. You can check that out, and I will later on in the description of this live stream just add like the link to Neil's YouTube channel where he will be live streaming on Monday. And I think I will be back on Saturday again. And yeah, it's finally getting like the whole thing is like really starting for us now. We made some progress. I think we're getting faster with every time. We open the program.
For sure.
I think that's the thing. Not the case for my for my streaming right here. Like you could see, today was not well prepared and just forgot to plug in my camera. Something that happens.
We're also going to see how I can manage it on Monday.
That would be great. The thing is just streaming in VR is just great because it's not like when you're sitting at your computer, you could just monitor everything just have it on a second monitor and just watch your stream and have everything there, and you can more easily react. For me, it's always in VR, it's a little bit delayed because I have my windows open, but they're so pushed to the side. I don't it's hard if you focus on your work to notice some changes, like a little square going black. So it's a little bit challenging, but yeah, I think we'll get better every time. And in the future, I hope, like I said, we're here to answer questions. So if you join the stream, we're here to talk. Feel free to comment and ask questions. We are super happy about that.
Engage with us if you want to, so we can answer your personal questions, maybe not personal, but your own questions. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about what we think might be interesting for you guys. But yeah.
And like I said, it can be VR related, but it could be also different things. I mean, it's not the only thing that we do virtual reality. So of course, that's the main topic right here. But if you have any other questions on maybe what we did before starting virtual reality animation, stuff like that, also a topic that we could talk about.
Maybe what we haven't talked about at all until now is why we're doing this at all. Like what it exactly is. I think that could also be a future topic on one of the streams.
Yeah, maybe that's something we'll tackle, or I will tackle next Saturday, that I just explain a little bit more, just dive a little bit more in. And just the thing I wanted to do with these live streams is not only show you the process, but also like share a little bit of the enthusiasm I personally have for virtual reality, like in general. And I think virtual reality, and especially Quill, is just a great tool to show the creative potential of virtual reality. But there's so much more in the technology, like potential in different fields. Like of course I also play games, but it's like the special thing about VR is also the social interactions you have with that. Like I play games with friends in with traditional games, just speaking with Discord, just talking about stuff. But it feels so much different when you do exactly the same thing, except it's in VR, because your body language get a little bit transported, and you actually have the feeling of being next to the person. And especially in the pandemic situation we're in right now, I think that was just great to have. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just gonna put the everything in the description, linked to Neil's YouTube channel, so you can watch the stream on Monday if you're interested. Like you said, it's gonna be in German.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and I also be informing you guys ahead of time when the streaming is going to take place, but I don't know it yet.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for also watching the stream maybe after it aired live. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to write them into the comments of this stream. Also after it went live, we still read them.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Just like Neil said, thank you for being here with us today, and that is it for today. Bye.
Goodbye, have a good one.